I'm dreading making this video because this is the type of video where people will take half of a sentence and run with it, or take half of what you say and run with it and ignore the other part. But I'm going to brave all of that and make the video because there are some things that just need to be said. Here's what I don't like, and oh god, I'm dreading saying this sentence because it's going to bring all the interracial lovers out, but here's what I don't like about black men and other races of women and how they talk about it. This video inspired by the discussion I've been following on Gen X between black men and black women. This may be a video that Sergeant Willie Pete responds to because I'm going to talk about him in this video. Okay, Sarge, and apparently now I'm talking to him, but anyway, I can understand why you and other black men don't like to admit certain things because you're afraid that black women are going to take that and run with it. I understand that. I totally do. But when you sit there and deny things that I can see with my own eyes, it makes me not really all the way believe what you're saying. So I have compiled a list of things that make me not believe you. Now, before I get started on my list, I want to make this little disclaimer so some people can relax. This video is not being made to say that black women are perfect and that the gripes that some black men have about black women are not legitimate. I will also say that I know that there are black men out there who are considering women of other races after repeated negative experiences with black women. That said, I will now start my list. Number 1. When black men taunt black women about dating women of other races. What ticks me off about that is similar to what ticks me off about being called a nigger by a white person, for example. It's not that they called me a nigger, it's that they think that saying that is going to get me upset. And the second thing that pisses me off about it is that it's the end-all be-all. And what I mean is like, okay, let's say a white person calls me a nigger. And this will be like a white person that ain't got much going for him. So I'll say something like, dude, you didn't even graduate from high school. They'll say, well, yeah, but you're a nigger. You work at McDonald's. Yeah, but you're a nigger. It's like it doesn't matter what you come back with, they're going to go back to nigger like it's the end-all be-all, like that's the very worst thing in the world. And that's how some black guys are with this interracial thing. Like they'll make comments on my page and I'll be like, dude, you can't even spell correctly. Well, yeah, but white girls love me. You're not even all that handsome. Yeah, but white girls love me. You don't have anything going for you. Yeah, but white girls love me. And it's like, don't you realize that what I just said about you is worse than what you just said? And no, they don't. White girls love me is the end-all be-all for them. You really can't say anything to them. One thing that makes it feel good when you're going back and forth with somebody is if you get them and they know you got them. But there's nothing more frustrating when you got somebody good and they don't realize it. That is so frustrating. It's like, don't you realize that I just totally destroyed you? Anyway, moving on. Number 2. Black men misrepresenting the reasons why it's easier for them to get married and or go interracial. The interracial loving black men love to say it's because of our swag and it's because we're the most desirable men. And I'm not here to take that away from you, except that I'll correct you and say that you're the second most desirable men. Now, the video clip that I posted in my White Women Interracial Gold Diggers video puts you third, but I'll go ahead and put you second. I believe that you're second. But anyway, interracial loving black men omit a lot of the reasons why it's easier for them. Now, we've already heard the two most popular reasons, that the standard of beauty is a lot less harsh on men, and that black men are portrayed as sexy and desirable in the media. But putting those two things aside, there are reasons that are even bigger than that. First of all, men in general are in the minority, and that's even more so for black men. In this case, the law of supply and demand kicks in. When the supply is low and the demand is high, then the stock goes up. The stock is made higher because most black women want a black man, and then there are some women of other races who want black men. If we had the same male to female ratio here as they do in China, it wouldn't be so easy for you. Also, you are helped by the fact that you are a small black minority in a white majority country. If this was South Africa, interracial wouldn't be so easy for you. That country's like 10% white and like 68% black. If we had that black to white ratio over here, the majority of you wouldn't even get a whiff of a white woman. Being in the minority helps you out with women of other races. Just being rare creates a curiosity about you, and join that together with being promoted in the media and with the swag, and yeah, it's no wonder that black guys have an easier time. Now, I know that some of you are probably saying, well, if it's about being rare, then how come that doesn't help black women? That brings me to my next point. You, black men, are dealing with women. we have to deal with men. There are more ways to a woman's heart than there are to a man's. And persistence works with men. I have seen so many times where a female will not like a guy at all, and in a year they'll be married, or in 6 months she'll be pregnant with his baby, or will come to find out that they've been fucking each other behind the scenes. I'm linking to a video in the sidebar of a black guy who pursued an Asian chick for 6 months unrequited. She accidentally gave him a way in, and now she's his missus. A man, on the other hand, kinda has to like a woman from the beginning, otherwise the chances are very slim that he's ever gonna like her at any time in the future. And I'm not talking about exceptions where like somebody will be fat and then they'll lose weight and come back all hot and sexy and then the person wants him. That's different. But in general, the guy kinda has to like the woman from the start. Next reason, and I'm talking in generalities here. Women are attracted to things that for the most part any man can get. And that's power, money, and stability. Now, not every man will achieve this, but any man can. Men, and again I'm talking in generalities, are attracted to things that not every woman can achieve, and that is youth and beauty. Now, while every woman will have the chance to be young, not every woman will have the chance to be beautiful. Now let's jump back to the men for a moment. Like I said, women are attracted to power, money, and stability. Those are just the surefire ways, but those are by no means the only ways to get to a woman's heart. If you are attractive, you can get a lot of women. And if you have a lot of charisma, you can get a lot of women. The only surefire way that a woman has to get a man interested in her is if she's attractive. Money does not move men. Education does not move men. Status. Charisma kind of works a little bit, but not nearly as much as it helps men out. If you're born an ugly female, there's not really much you can do to make yourself be highly sought after by men. But if you're an ugly male, all you gotta do is either get some money, get some power, be charismatic, or just pursue the hell out of a woman until you wear her down. The only true strike against a man is if he's short, but even that can be overcome with money and power. Next point. Men are more decisive than women. When they make up their minds, they're more likely to stick to it. Well, what does that have to do with dating? Well, I'll tell you. Anybody who's ever worked in sales knows that there's 3 types of answers. There's yeses, there's hard no's, and there's soft no's. The yeses, of course, are yeses. The hard no's are the ones who say, hell no, get off my porch, I don't want what you're selling. But the soft no's, they're the ones that say, well, no, I don't think so. Are you sure? No, I don't think so. You sure? Oh, well, let me look at it. Well, there's this, that, and this. And there's this, that, and this. Well, let me talk to my husband about it. Well, did I mention this, that, and this? Well, that is pretty nice. Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and take one and give it to him as a surprise. Men are more likely to give the hard nose, while women will give hard nose too, but they'll also give a lot of soft nose. And that all goes back to the ability to be able to wear a woman down. So for black men in the interracial dating game, the hard nose are the racist white women, or the white women who are just not interested in black men at all. And the soft nose are the ones who are willing to go out on dates, or ones that are even just willing to fuck them. Because once she says yes, just once, he has the chance to get in there and wear her down. Which brings me to my next point. Women are more emotional. Men can fuck and hardly ever catch any feelings. But a woman is more likely to catch feelings from being intimate with a man. Now, I know there are women out there who are just as hit it and quit it as men are, but in general, women are more likely to catch feelings. So let's say we have a white male and a white female who both decide they want to dabble in the chocolate. So they both decide that they're going to either have a one-night stand with, or even date for a little while, a black person. Now, when the white male is done with this little adventure, it's easier for him to say, bye-bye black girl, because he's a male. Men don't catch feelings the way women do. But when it comes to the flip side, the white female with the black male, a higher percentage of the females will get caught up. Not because black men are so sexy or they got so much swag, but because women catch feelings easier than men. And like I mentioned before, men have so many more things to work with to keep a woman he wants than women do. To keep a man she wants, that is. So when these interracial loving black men are bragging about how easy it is for them to get women of other races versus how easy it is for black women to get men of other races, and they want to attribute this to them being so sexy and being so desirable as men, I'll say it's like 25% that and like 75% the dynamic between male and female. I will continue this video on in part 2.